Justin, welcome to the AndroidVirus and Sean Show. How's it going, my friend?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Good.
I was told that this I posted about this show on a website, and they said that this is some kind of cyborg porn. Is that true?
Cyborg porn.
It is at times. I mean, we had just helped promoting a local stripper that called in, a fan of our show, and she'd called in and said, "Hey guys, come in tonight. We need some fans and some dances." And I said, "Maybe you could do the helicopter trick with your penis." And she says, "I don't have a penis." And I said, "How about you staple a hot dog to the front of your vagina and you just do the helicopter from there?" So
okay.
Kind of.
I want to see a medieval cyborg, like steampunk pornography.
Well, it's kind of funny that you had called in at this moment. We were just talking about the new pictures that came out for the new Terminator movie, and we were all highly disappointed.
I didn't see. I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, it just it doesn't scream steampunk. It doesn't scream cyberpunk. It doesn't scream that hard flesh or that hard steel. It almost looks just real plasticky, and we were not big fans of that. Yeah, and we and then we just got on the conversation about Prometheus and stuff like that, you know.
Okay.
So how's it going, man? We love your music. What's up?
Thank
you. Are you touring yet, or what's going on?
I'm working on a tour right now. Definitely want to hit the road and tour. We're just trying to figure out details and link up with some other bands. You know, we're kind of in a difficult place where we're, you know, the level that we're at is we're definitely ready to tour. It's just a question of linking up with the right bands. So that's in the works right now. But I don't have any dates for you to announce at this moment.
That's all good. Now, Vincent is on the line with us. Vincent Damon. Now, Vincent wrote the review. Yes, he wrote the review for you.
Hey, man, I have to say, I really loved your review. I really did.
Thanks, man.
You know, I think a lot of people were really like kind of unfairly assuming that we were this sort of Marilyn Manson Part 2 kind of thing. When I think that musically it's really quite far from that, and I think that you really picked up on that in your review.
It's almost like the polar opposite of that, really.
Yeah, it's a lot more. I think the word you said, it was like the keyboards were like psychedelic, and I really thought that I like that you picked up on that. You know, I think we have a lot of stuff going on.
Well, there was the psychedelia aspect, and you said you described it as digital rock, but I actually think digital punk is more of a it's a more apt description as your music, just as far as the whole EBM movement, all that. It doesn't really sound like anything else. You know, it's a whole unique.
Well, itself. I think post-punk, the post-punk. Is a big influence for me personally. Definitely, you know, bands like Revolting Cocks or even, you know, Public Image Limited. That kind of rhythm section in particular, I think, is a big part of our sound.
Yeah, like I said in the review, I was picking up on a lot of like a sort of a Chem Lab type vibe almost at times. Or a very just classic sounds, very Velvet Acid Christ kind of.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I appreciate that.
You know, but better.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we're better than those bands too. But don't tell them I said that.
No.
We were actually given an opportunity to play with Velvet Acid Christ on November 31st, but instead we've decided to we have a New Year's Eve show. I'm sorry, December 31st was the Velvet Acid Christ, but we're playing New Year's Eve. We're opening for a band called Assemblage 23. Not because we like them more, only because I'd rather do a show on New Year's Eve.
Where's that show going to be at?
That's going to be that's at a club called Blackthorn 51 in Queens. It's a really great club in Queens, in Elmhurst, New York.
Right on.
Now, Vincent, you may not be too far away from there, buddy.
No.
You guys got to come out. You got to come out. It's going to be wild.
I live in South Jersey by
New
train.
Year's.
I'm only about an hour from there, hour and a half, something like that. It's not too bad.
So, is there a particular significance or symbolism in your performance, like name Justin Symbol?
Absolutely. Well, Justin Symbol is my real name.
Yeah.
But I think symbolism is something I always thought symbols were cool. It's cool. It's really interesting to me that you can have, a very simple thing, and it says a lot to a lot of, and it says something slightly different to each person. So I thought symbols were, it's like a way of instantly communicating a more complex idea. But in the process of communicating that, it's sort of up to each individual's perception as well, exactly what that means to them. So I think it's really interesting. Symbolism in general is interesting. As far as our performance, I think each song we do, we try to have like a theme or sort of like a visual motif that goes with that song. So, for instance, in Killing an Arab, we do a beheading, which is like a terrorist, sort of ISIS-inspired moment to the show. Also inspired by Alice Cooper with the guillotine. It's sort of a modern update of that idea. Okay. And then for the song Voidhead, we do something with like a giant icicle strap-on. It symbolizes, it's basically this idea of like an exaggerated, it's an exaggerated sort of like this inflated sense of manhood that on one hand is comical, on the other hand it's like kind of horror inspired. So each song we try to do something different that fits the song.
Okay, so it's an extremely theatrical performance.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
It's amazing. Now, Vincent had brought up to me that he noticed that your name can be broken down to just in symbol. You know what I mean? Like, or is that just a coincidence, or did that just come about naturally?
Yeah, I don't know. You have to ask my parents, I guess. I was named after, the name Justin came from the singer from, the band, it's like some band that you would not think at all. The Moody Blues. That's Justin Hayward, I think, from the Moody Blues. That's who I was named after. So I was named after a singer. So that's some trivia right there for the hardcore freaks.
I was noticing, just checking out your pictures, Google imaging you. I know some scarification on. Oh yeah. So, are those brands, or did you actually get cut? Did you get carved?
I got carved. I don't do it myself, but I've had people do it. The first scarification I had actually was a backwards swastika, like a Hindu, the original swastika, really, the Hindu swastika. Yeah. I was actually high on methamphetamine, and I was snorting coke off a broken mirror. So that was kind of a darker moment. And I told this guy that I was with, I was like, I want you to carve this on me, carve a fucking swastika on my chest. But then the more recent, and that was sort of just like a drug-induced kind of thing. But the more recent one was this love carving, which had a lot of meaning to me as well, because I was trying to overcome my fear of love. So I had the word love carved into my chest.
Oh, okay. That's awesome, dude. I'm a huge fan of scarification. I don't got the balls. I mean, I got a lot of tattoos myself. I just don't got the balls to do it. But one day,
it's very painful. I just had the love one. I just had it redone, and I was not high or drunk on this occasion, and it was very painful.
I think it could be very, very beautiful. I've seen a lot of scarification pictures, and I think they're amazing. For myself, I think more of a voyeur that I'd like to look at it a little bit more than getting it. But right. One of my bucket list things, as you could say, would be to get suspended, and still want to do that to this day. Just I want to get suspended. Just hang off of
You mean like
some
suspended
hooks.
from school, or
No.
for school?
I want to get hooks put in the top of my back and just kind of swing
Wait.
there.
Is this Sean or is this AndroidVirus?
This is AndroidVirus.
Oh, dude, you have to do that. That your name is AndroidVirus, man. You have to do shit like that.
Yes, I'd love to, and I mean, it's one of those things where you see it and you're just like, I got to do it. It's something I got to do.
Yeah.
I can't even. So how you mentioned you were a bit dabbling in a little bit into the amphetamines and the uppers there. You doing okay?
I was in the dark phase of darker phase.
And you're doing good with that now?
I'm great now. I have over a year of complete sobriety, actually. And I really, I really recommend that for people who are struggling, and just for me in general. I'm not a preacher of any specific lifestyle, but for me, I always thought that the drugs were making me more artistic, but in reality, it was preventing me from really executing things on the scale that I'm able to now. So I found that, I've come a long way in this past year, and I think that, this is just the beginning of what I'm doing. It's going to be very big, and it's only going to be as big as it's going to be because I have this newfound clarity.
There you go. I'm really. It seems like your fan base is pretty rabid, and it almost feels like the energy there's something about to pop. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
You can almost taste it. It's like you're
like
right there.
The cherry of a virgin. It's about.
Well,
the world
speaking of which, we got you got a virgin on the line with us right now. We got another guy. Yeah.
I don't know if any of my fans are actually virgins, but I would love to hear it from this person who's claiming to be.
Flesh Eater,
really?
Are you on the line with us?
Oh God, here we go.
There
Yes,
you go.
I'm here. Well, I'm drunk, but I'm there.
We have a guy who calls.
This is a virgin, supposedly.
Flesh Eater is a virgin. And
it's because I'm a cyborg. That's why.
Are you saying that your asshole is a virgin asshole, or are you saying that you have never had sex of any kind with anyone?
Flesh Eater?
Oh, that's yeah. Well,
Answer?
That's top secret, man. What about Sean? Isn't he still, the B word?
Yes, Sean's still a virgin as well. Sean is still a virgin as well.
Yeah, if it's sort of like all fingers were pointed at me, it's like, well, what about him?
Now, Justin Symbol, you're actually on the line with two virgins. Sean is a virgin, and so is Flesh Eater. Now, I don't want you to think that you're in a room. I don't want you to think that you're in a room with a group of nerds or anything like that by any means. Flesh Eater's a nerd, maybe. Sean is a virgin by choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons involved in this in any way?
No, I just.
All right, then you're not really nerds, then. All right.
Going back to you, my friend. Could you explain the exact concept of the album a bit more fully? Vincent had brought up. Lyrically, it seems to cover several different aspects of the. What would you say, Vincent?
I think Vincent called me out. He said it. He said it's not really. The concept is not clear. That's what you said, right?
Right.
No, not that it's not clear. I was just curious as to is there a particular arc to it? Like, does it happen in a timed fashion? Like, is it incident after incident after incident? And like a slow perpetual growth, or is it sort of like timed all over the place?
I would say it is in sequence. I mean, the idea is that this character, the first song, he says, the lyrics are, he has arrived, he is the Voidhead. So the first song is the introduction of the Voidhead. It's like this character, he's basically, the idea is that he's arrived at a club. He's at like a nightclub. That's why the song has this kind of dance vibe. And he's basically there, he's trying to get laid, but he's also in the process of getting laid. He wants to sort of infect somebody else with this sort of negative, hateful, fearful energy that he feels like he's consumed by. And then from there, there's sort of an arc where the character goes through these different experiences. Digital penetration is sort of like an infatuation with social media, an infatuation with world events. Then it goes into like control. It's talking about, is he being dominated by his fear, or is he the one who's really in control? It's kind of him asking himself that question. Then we go, it keeps going on. Black Friday is sort of a consumerist it's about like the sort of American consumerist culture. But the bottom line is, like, towards the end of it, with Shooting Stars, it's like the end of the song is sort of supposed to be like an attempted suicide or an attempted overdose. And then the fear, the instrumental track, is really like, it's kind of that moment where he's like a near-death experience. And then the last track, Gray Snow, the idea is that it's supposed to kind of sound, a lot of people have said it sounds like you're on heroin or something. It's supposed to sound that way because it's like the guy, he OD'd, but he didn't actually die. So that's sort of the afterwards of all that. And he's kind of like,
did he live, or is he sort of trapped in a mid-space?
Well, he lives, but he doesn't know what's next. I mean, it's kind of like he's alive, and he's like, all right, he's realizing that
he's got like a new perspective.
He's self-aware. He's finally self-aware. He's aware that he's aware of what he is now. He's aware that he's a sick person who needs to either change or, this is going to be the end for him. So it's kind of this, like, limbo state of awareness, but I wouldn't say it necessarily points towards, like, a positive or a negative. It kind of leaves you hanging.
Okay, cool.
Very interesting. Now, we have somebody calling in, Malfina, has a question for you about scarification, and got a comment. Malfina, thank you for calling the AndroidVirus and Sean Show. You're on with Justin Symbol.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me on. I actually had a comment about the scarification. I think it was Android said that, he was afraid of getting them but had a lot of tattoos. I actually have what are called etchings, which is a way to scarify yourself. It's done with a tattoo gun without any ink and needle.
Interesting.
So there's a couple people that there are a few artists that do it. You have to, look around. I got mine done in New Orleans, but this was pre-Katrina, so I'm not sure where those people are scattered.
Yeah, the love scarification I have is an etching. It was done with a blunted tattoo needle without any ink, and I actually had it done twice.
Interesting.
So if you're this is a shout out. If you're in the New York City area, there is a dominatrix / body modification person named Gia Jupiter. She's the one who did the love. She did love on my chest, and she actually did it twice. She did it once, and then she went over it again recently, and we filmed it for the video for Shooting Stars. So
cool. I had mine done
insane.
twice.
It's painful as hell.
It kind of sounds like similar to what I had when I got I had my back worked on pretty heavily, and my tattoo artist wanted to leave some marks for himself because it's a big giant piece, and he did what he called bloodlines. So it was just a very faint. He didn't go too deep, but he did some very faint lining on there, just so he could go back, and kind of pick up where he left off. But yeah, that sounds very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, if I could get a guy to go pretty deep with his needle on his tattoo, maybe I can get some of those scarification tattoo, those things. So
it's extremely painful, though. It's a lot worse than a normal tattoo.
I can imagine. Do you have any other questions?
I do have another question for Justin Thimble. I was wondering, I love the album, by the way. I was wondering if you or any other members of the band are synesthetes.
Are what? I'm sorry?
If you have synesthesia, like you like see colors or hear like or like taste sounds, I guess. Because
I had that when I was on psychedelic drugs. The keyboardist Baba Yaga, the guitarist, is very highly into psychedelics, and I know he was doing acid while we were doing this. But as far as like legitimate synesthesia, I have to say no. I don't know that any member has that. Has had that before.
That's cool. I was just generally curious just because of the marriage of visual and sound that it flows really well together.
Oh yeah, thank you. I mean, that's great to hear. Everything that we're aiming for. I mean, I was originally more trained as a visual artist, so I kind of bring a lot of that into this. And for me, it's really, I aim for like a multimedia experience with this, with what we're doing. It's really not just supposed to be about music.
Yeah. Oh, that's really great. That's cool. I can definitely tell that on a lot of your stuff. So.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thanks for calling in, Malfina, and please go, if you don't already, follow Justin or on his SoundCloud or Twitter. Give him a follow. I just became friends with him today, so and again, go like the AndroidVirus
cool.
and Show. Go to Facebook and like the AndroidVirus and Sean Show too. We're always putting out fun stuff. So thanks for giving us a call. All right.
Okay, great. Thank you for having me on. Have a good night.
Thanks. So, Justin, what are your thoughts on the supposed upcoming singularity as well as transhumanism, as they both seem to play a big part in the story of VOIDHEAD?
Singularity?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I'm not as smart as you thought, man.
Well, the singularity, where everything's becoming one, essentially.
Oh,
Sort of the melding of man and machine is one.
Oh, the melding of man and machine is one.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I think everything has always been one. I think, everything has always been one or zero, I guess. But I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I think machines. I don't know. I think it's an extension. I think that we, as humans, we like to think we're a lot bigger than we are. I look at stuff like global warming and people say, oh, you're destroying the planet. Well, I think if we are, it's because that was what our purpose was here on Earth. I mean, the planet is smarter than us. I learned something about this biosphere theory, which is what I really believe, is that the planet is almost like a self-regulating organism in itself. Yeah. And if we're causing something like that, it's because that's what we're meant to do. So I think that anything that comes out of us playing with machines or that is going to be what it's meant to be on a much grander scale than just what that means for humans.
Yeah, I think that as far as the planet is concerned, part of me looks at us as just little parasites, and the Earth can just gobble us up and wipe us out at any time it likes.
There's actually a scientific term for it called behavioral sync.
Ooh, behavioral sync.
Fucking Vincent.
It's the separation of the different classes of society, and then eventually the downfall due to that. And it has to do with, the Earth trying to repair itself and the whole list of other items as well.
I just think if a species developed that was capable of causing what we think of as harm, it would be because the planet wanted us to do that in the first place. I don't think we're harming anything.
Exactly.
I think by initiating global warming, we're doing exactly what we were meant to do as a species.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Now, getting back to your performance, your on-stage performance, we did talk a bit about how you had some beheadings. You got yourself a nice icicle dildo, a giant one.
Strap on.
Strap on. Yes, strap on.
Yes,
what else can we see in there? Will there be blood and more blood, more nudity, a little bit of both? I mean.
Well, you have to cover the old school taboos, of course, as well. I have my cousin is a very beautiful woman. She's a model. She's in the new video that we just released for the song VOIDHEAD, and she's actually the one wearing this strap on in that video. But she performs with us. Her name is Kat Ropo. If you look her up, she's a model. And so yes, we have the naked women aspect. I'm basically naked. But, we also have a lot of things that are a little bit deeper, a little bit more modern, in addition to sort of the more old school kind of theatrics. We have something that we're doing with, like, LED lights. We have something that we're doing with TVs, and we're sort of it's basically referencing the digital penetration video. And we're working on a bunch of things right now. So we want it to kind of be a mix of new and old.
I think it's an awesome concept that you're doing, and I think that, I mean, musically, like Vince said, in his article, you're definitely separating yourself, and not necessarily it's like digital rock. It's more like digital punk, and it sounds like you definitely have a direction that you want to take it, a very well-intended direction. With that being said, is this so, I guess, quote-unquote concept album, do you see yourself in the future doing more of these, or is it just kind of being an artist, whatever you feel going to come out?
I think the answer is both. I mean, we started the next album already, which we're planning on calling Godhead, and in a way it's sort of a continuation of the concept that was begun with VOIDHEAD. In the sense that it's the character is struggling to find some kind of new meaning or higher power or, a new way of connecting, because obviously the nihilistic train of thought that was predominant throughout VOIDHEAD sort of led to this kind of self-destructing state. So the next thing is sort of the new spirituality, but it's a spirituality that's not the same that we think of when we think of the Christian God or other mainstream religions. It's kind of a neo-spirituality, and so that's been the basic concept so far for what we're doing next. It's a lot of it is inspired also by like the ancient Hindu temples where you have like these basically like the carvings of people in a giant orgy, and so for them. Religion was something that was it was hand in hand with sex. It wasn't like Western religion where we're completely alienated from our own sexuality. So I think all of these are ideas that I have in my head right now when I'm thinking about what we're going to do next.
Well, I think if you do stroll around to this area, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, we have two virgins on the line with you that would definitely participate in an orgy with you.
If it's a cyborg.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a cyborg orgy, a flesh eater. We're gonna get his half Terminator face on. We'll do some.
What happened to that guy anyway? He was too drunk to talk, or what? Where is that guy? He left.
He's still here.
I'm still here.
Are you still there? You've been there the whole time, man.
Just drunk off his ass.
I'm just, I'm just listening.
See,
I'm
this
a
is
listener. I'm drinking, man. I'm too busy.
You've been so quiet, man.
Well,
I thought you were gone. You're so well behaved. What kind of drunk is that, man? When I used to get drunk, I used to fucking break shit over people's heads, man.
Well, it's in his blood. It's in his blood. Well, he's very disciplined. He's a quarter Japanese, and he finds he finds that when he drinks Japanese beer,
which I'm doing right now,
which he's doing right now, that it's a little bit more spiritual for him. So
that's great. That's great.
Finally, what do you hope to get from the album on a deeper aesthetic level, pertaining to all the ideas involved, like change, open-mindedness?
Yeah, I think it's it's very cathartic. It allows me to express things that that are deep inside of me, and a lot of times with this stuff, it is very autobiographical as well. All art, I believe, is autobiographical. I think it's bullshit when somebody makes a quote-unquote concept album and they might say, oh, it's not about me. Of course it's about you. If you look at The Wall by Pink Floyd, I think, which to me is probably the greatest concept album, I think it was autobiographical in the sense that it really was about this one person trying to control the entire band and be almost like, Roger Waters became the dictator in a way, which is the character that The Wall was about. So I think it's the same with our stuff. It's like, it teaches me a lot about myself because it is very autobiographical as well. And I'll do a song like Control is a good example where I kind of think it's about one thing, but then when I really look back on the lyrics like a month later and I have time to sit with it, I realize that it's saying something a lot deeper than I originally thought.
That's cool, man. I threw your album on while I was exercising. I was a man becoming one with a machine on a Stairmaster, and it just got me going, man. It's a really good album. Vince, do you got any other questions for Justin?
No, man. That about sums it up.
Right on, brother. Well, what do you got to plug there, Justin?
All right, so my big plug here is that we have another music video coming, which is a video for Purgatory, which is the 5th song on the album, and it's featuring Daisy Berkowitz, the original guitarist from Marilyn Manson. That will be out in the next week or two on a horror website called Rue Morgue.
Ooh,
and there's also going to be a behind-the-scenes video where myself and the director, Jeff Turek, we talk about what the inspirations were for the video. This is by far the highest quality production that we've done so far. We actually filmed inside of a cathedral. Somehow we were allowed to film inside of an operating cathedral, not like an abandoned one. So it's great. It's about spirituality. It touches on a lot of the ideas of demonic possession, which are towards the second half of the album. And it stars an alternative model named Melanie Gatos, who actually was in the Rammstein video. So this is by far going to be the best video we've done yet, and I'm really excited for people to see this.
I actually got a Rue Morgue T-shirt that I wear a lot. So
oh, great!
I'm a huge horror guy. I know Vince is a big horror guy as well, man. So
we're definitely looking to break into that world more. We're looking to do a lot of these horror conventions and stuff because I think a lot of what we're doing is very horror oriented, but maybe approaching it in a different way than it has been in the past.
Off the top of my head, real quick, we just came off of last month. We had a huge horror Halloween-filled themed month on the AndroidVirus and Sean Show. We did 5 shows that were all just horror, Halloween, spooky. So, off the top of your head, I need to know top 3 horror movies. Go.
Oh, man. All right. I'll say The Birds, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and fuck, man. I mean, I want it to be really interesting, but I'm just gonna have to say it. The original Halloween. It's just you can't beat it.
Yep.
The movie Halloween.
Now we want to share ours with you and get your thoughts.
Okay.
Flesh Eater, top 3, go.
Okay, John Carpenter's The Thing, and I would say, what I really like, In the Mouth of Madness, another good Carpenter movie. And, I really liked Rob Zombie's version of Halloween.
Cool. Vince.
Those are my 3.
Prince of Darkness. I would say John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, Cannibal Holocaust, and this is a tough fucking question, man. This is not easy. Oh my God. I'll go with Eraserhead.
Okay,
Eraserhead's
that's
great.
a weird one, then.
Yeah.
Sean,
I don't even know if I'd say it's a horror movie, but it's great.
Sean, go.
As far as like ones that actually scared me, I'll just go with that. Audition, The Ring, not the U.S. version, the Japanese version of The Ring, and the Japanese version of The Grudge. I do like Japanese horror. So,
you know what you guys should watch? There's a Japanese movie called Tetsuo.
Yeah,
you know that one?
Tetsuo, the Iron Man. That's a great.
That was
flick.
the original cyborg porn.
Have you?
You should put that as the intro of your radio show if you do like a video promotion or something.
We actually last month we talked about how much we loved the Japanese. We loved Tokyo Gore Police, Meatball Machine, Machine Girl, like all those movies. Ricky O, the story of Ricky, just the ultra violent where blood is just you could see the PSI coming out before the blood actually comes out, which is
I got to get my music over to Japan, man. They would eat me up. I'm trying to find a way to get over there.
They would love you. Now I have, I know people who fight in Japan, but I don't know anybody who plays music in Japan. But you should, man. They would love you. I think you would go over really well there. Now, top 3 horror movies for me. I'm gonna have to go with Flesh Eater. John Carpenter's getting some love tonight because I love The Thing. That's got to be number 1. As far as what scared me, The Shining, I'm going to have to go with. And I know I'm going to cheap out, but Friday the 13th, Part 4, that is the most unapologetic, relentless fucking Friday the 13th there is. It is just not a fun-filled slasher movie. So kind of makes you feel dirty, but those are my top 3. So, Justin, dude, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight. You're more than welcome to come on any other time that you'd like. Whenever you're promoting anything, it was a pleasure listening to your album. It was a pleasure talking to you, man.
Thanks a lot.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Good luck on everything.
Have
all right.
A good night. Take care.
Much deserved.